I blame you and your colleagues. You promised me, comrade, on this program, that you will hold the government accountable. You will hold the NNPC by the trouser in ensuring that the refineries, that we got a 1.5 billion US in loan facility to fix, that it will work. Where is that refinery today?
Sheung, I listened to a commentary in your station about a week ago or thereabout. Today, you know, we visited the refinery. Sheung, I'm an engineer of over 20 years standing, all right? And I understand how mechanic works. I've worked in the private sector all my life, and I've practiced engineering all my life. So I know a system that is working, and I know a system that doesn't work. I listened to that said the refinery never works. Sheung, it is not correct. The refinery worked. There is a difference between a piece of equipment working and a piece of equipment working efficiently. You know, in engineering, these are two different things. So what happened was that the refineries were shut down. Not because the refineries were not working, but it was actually because what you were feeding into the refinery was crude oil, right? It wasn't water. So when you feed crude from this end, that's the input, then you are going to get the output from the other end. So when they compare what they were feeding in and what they were getting at the end of the day was not commensurate. So, not that it wasn't functioning, but it wasn't functioning optimally. Because at the end, when you are feeding in, let's assume, you are feeding in crude that costs, let's say, $10 million into the refinery. And at the end, you are getting a product that is worth, let's say, about $9.5 million. Which means that you are running on a loss. So that was exactly what happened. Not that refineries were not working. I mean, we paid a visit to the new GCU of NNPC Limited, and we put that question to him, Sheung, that why were the refineries shut down? Why are the refineries not working currently? And he told us that this was actually the reason. That not that the refineries were not working, but it was the material balance. The material you feed into the refinery, what you are getting out, it's a bit reduced in terms of value. So that was why they shut it down in order to re-examine the strategy and all that.
Which one is
what
working?
We have asked,
the old or the new?
No. It wasn't about the new, if you remember. It wasn't the new. What they said, I mean, the one that was working as that then was the old. But there was also a technology gap, Sheung. When those refineries were working, before they were shut down almost 15, 20 years ago, what happened was that the old refinery was feeding product into the new refinery. Because the old refinery has old technology. So it was feeding product into the new refinery. So the new refinery will now produce the PMS, for example, that will give us the right octane number. But they wanted a quick fix. That, okay, let's separate both of them. Instead of the old feeding the new, let's make the old independent. And that is why
they were
this
buying
material balance challenge.
Crack C5, and they were from Indorama, from what we understand.
I said it in your studio.
And blend it with naphtha to get us what we want.
Yes.
That was a quick fix, isn't it?
Yes. I said it in your studio. That was actually what was happening in terms of PMS. But the old refinery as at then was producing DPK and AGO. But overall, you are in a business to make money. Refinery business, the margins are very low. The margins are very small.
When is the refinery likely to come back to
No, now they are reviewing the overall strategy. What we have advised them, Sheung, is what we have advocated for in the last 20 years, Sheung, almost 20 years. And that has been government. Bring refiners. Give them 51% stake of the refinery. When you give them 51% stake, they become the largest shareholder.
And the owner.
They will be able to run the refineries. Why you are just idle.
We are totally out of time.